All right, let's get right into it. If you're a teenager right now, I want you to know you're basically sitting on a financial superpower. Seriously. Today, we're going to lay out a step-by-step roadmap based on some really solid expert advice that breaks down exactly what you can be doing from age 13 all the way up to 18 to build a crazy strong financial future. This isn't just some boring theory either. This is your actual playbook for getting a massive head start. Yeah, that's a pretty bold statement, isn't it? But it's meant to be. The stuff we're about to cover really is that powerful. The guy behind this advice, Mark Tilbury, actually became a millionaire in his 20s. And he says if he'd had a guide like this one, he could have done it even faster. So think of this as your personal checklist for success. Okay, the first and single most important thing you need to get is this: time. It's the one advantage you have that nobody, not even the richest person in the world, can buy. Forget about needing a bunch of money to start. Your real secret weapon is the number of years you have ahead of you. The whole idea boils down to something called time in the market. It sounds fancy, but all it means is letting your money work for you for as long as humanly possible. The snowball analogy is perfect. You start with a small snowball, right? But as it rolls down the hill, it picks up more snow, getting bigger and bigger and moving faster and faster. That's your money. Thanks to something called compounding, your earnings start making their own money. And over a few decades, that little snowball turns into a massive avalanche. So, what's your first move? At age 13, you can't just go open an investment account yourself. But, and this is the key, a parent or guardian can open what's called a custodial account for you. They control it, but it's your money for your future. Just think of it as the ultimate head start. Instead of just getting presents for your birthday, you could ask people to chip into this account and get that snowball rolling. All right, let's talk about those early teen years. Between 13 and 15, it's all about exploring and just laying the groundwork. This isn't about making a ton of money just yet. It's about finding out who you are and, more importantly, what you're actually good at. Your mission, if you choose to accept it, has two parts. First, try everything. Seriously. Cleaning driveways, playing sports, coding, video editing. You're not going to find your talent if you don't explore. Second, start building up some cash. Get a weekend job, ask for money for your birthday, and this is so important, don't just save it to buy the next new thing. You want to stash it. Look at that cash pile as your personal launch pad for the future, something you can use later to make even more money. Okay, now things start to get a little more serious. At 16 and 17, you've basically got this 2-year window before you're legally an adult. This is prime time to get focused and really start prepping for the real world. So for these 2 years, you have two main goals. First, at 16, it's all about stacking your skills. Take whatever talent you discovered and start investing in it. Maybe that means using your stash cash to buy a better computer for video editing or some other tool that helps you build a skill someone will actually pay you for. Then at 17, your big goal is to get your driver's license. Trust me, it's not just about driving, it's about freedom and opportunity. It means you can get to a job or a gig without having to rely on anyone else. It's a huge step. And now, the big one. You've hit 18. The world just opened up and it is time to make some moves. This isn't just some random list. Think of this as your essential 7-point financial launchpad into adulthood. Here we go, your 7 steps. Number 1, open your own bank accounts. You'll want a checking account for daily stuff and a high-yield savings account for that cash stash. 2, get a credit card. And don't worry, we'll talk more about that in a sec. 3, open an investing account that's tax-friendly, like a Roth IRA in the US or an ISA in the UK. 4, really, and I mean really think about whether university is the right path for you. 5, this one's critical, avoid bad debt at all costs. 6, use those skills you've been building to start a side hustle and bring in some extra income. And finally, number 7, start investing for the long haul. Okay, let's zoom in on a couple of these that trip a lot of people up, starting with the one that scares everyone. You've probably heard something like this before, right? A lot of us are taught when we're young that all debt is bad, that borrowing money is just a trap waiting to happen. And look, that advice usually comes from a good place, but in today's world, it's a little outdated, and it can actually hold you back. So here's the real deal. Getting a credit card when you're 18 and using it the right way is one of the smartest financial moves you can make. You just use it for small things you were going to buy anyway, like gas or snacks, and then this is the absolute most important part. You pay it off in full and on time every single month, no exceptions. Doing that builds a positive history, which creates your credit score. Think of that score as your financial reputation. A great score tells lenders you're reliable, and that means you get way better interest rates on the big, important loans you'll need later in life, like a mortgage for a house. Okay, next up is the huge question of university. Is it a scam? Is it worth it? The answer is kinda yes and kinda no. It totally depends on what you want to do. For some jobs, like being a doctor, nurse, or a teacher, yeah, a degree is absolutely non-negotiable. It's the key that unlocks the door. But for tons of other paths, think skilled trades like plumbing or entrepreneurship or a lot of tech jobs, your actual skills and what you can do matter way more than a piece of paper. So don't just go to college because you feel like you're supposed to. Ask if it's the right tool for the specific job you want. And that brings us perfectly to the idea of bad debt. This is the stuff you have to avoid like the plague. It's when you borrow money for things that go down in value and don't make you any money. The classic example is financing a flashy new car that you can't actually afford. That's totally different from what some people call good debt, like, say, a mortgage for a house that might go up in value, or a small loan to start a business that could make you a profit. So let's pull all this together. You've built your skills, you've set up the right accounts, and you understand the rules of the game. So why is it so important to start right now in your teens? Well, it all comes down to what you could call the $1,000,000 decade. Just look at this. This chart is the avalanche effect in real life. If you start investing just $250 a month when you're 18, by the time you're 65, you could have around $500,000. But if you wait just 10 years and start at 28, doing the exact same thing, you end up with less than half of that, about $679,000. That 10-year delay costs you over $800,000. That right there is the insane power of time. So here's the bottom line. Every single day you wait, you are literally losing your most valuable asset, and that's time. The steps are clear, the path is laid out for you. The only thing left is to actually start. So after hearing all this, what's your first move going to be?